Så det er halvanden år, du flytter hernede?
Yeah.
Okay, we're off. This is the final start of the Silverrudder 2020. And looking behind you, you can see we've got wind. Not a lot of it, but we've got wind. And you can see on your track that the boats are just passing up Skorupør Sound, which is about 5 miles from here. So they've got wind all the way along the east coast of Funen. And I can see the boats we expected to be in the lead are in the lead. There's a Seascape 18 and followed up by T24 with Patrick Heinrich. And then you've got Kaboom with Klaus Ron Madsen.
Who's in front now?
Yeah, CB66. So, you know,
he's unbelievable, this guy.
Yeah, he's pretty tough for a little boat.
Yeah.
We're going to be following the fleet as soon as we've finished this final start, which is the large multi-hulls, above 28 feet. No restrictions to the final length. There we go, got guys waving. Good race. So hopefully they'll enjoy this race. They've got a start. They've got wind for the start compared to the first start.
And this will be the boats who will be first in the race, probably.
These should definitely be the first boats to pass the finishing line in 24
Especially
hours.
the
Black Marlin.
Black Marlin
is
from
a locally built boat
from Ballen.
Ballen, yeah, which is actually built here, and he built the boat himself. And I don't mean sort of just put the superstructure in.
And he's a record holder in Silverrudder in 15.
Last year he broke the record, so he's got a record which is called 15 hours and 1 minute.
Wow.
Somebody said, well, what do you think you can race the race? And he said, I hope to do 15 hours, but 15 hours and 1 minute is his record.
But this year it will be he said 20 more than 20 hours.
He's more than 20 hours. He's not going to be able to break his record.
No.
But you know, maybe the wind is going to be increasing today. Hopefully we'll have more wind than originally planned, and who knows. Like I said, I haven't had the chance to look at the weather forecast for the last few hours.
You know, he's also having a lot of sailing holiday in his...
That's not just a racing boat. He takes his family to Croatia and to Norway in that boat, and they just literally, you can fold the wings in, you can fold the hulls, so he puts it on the back to tows it behind a VW van.
So we have more than Dragonfly here in the country.
No, you've got more than Dragonflies. He's built that one for himself, and then one more boat. Yeah. And looking behind you, I see the cameras filming the boats behind us there. Yeah. Again, primarily Dragonflies.
And here's water enough.
Yeah, there's plenty. Don't forget, these boats hardly have any draft.
Yeah.
You know, a couple of them have dagger boards. Some of them, there's one quite big cruising trimer, and the one behind us over there. I'll come back to Jens in just a minute. That's a 35-foot trimer, and that's got a hull, and this has actually got an import diesel engine. But most of these boats have a very, very low draft, so they'll probably have a draft of about 80, 90 centimeters. So not really a concern. Some of them maximum 1.5 meters. You know, the bigger cruising trimarans. Yeah, you've got the new Dragonfly 28 Sport here, which is a very fast boat. This boat won the record a couple of years ago with Henrik Boye at the helm. Yeah. And the boat was literally delivered. Had never been sailed before.
He's a fast guy.
In 2018, where there's really heavy weather, he won the record for that 1 year.
Yeah. Okay,
that was the 4-minute signal. Was that the 4-minute signal for the start of the final start of the Silverrudder 2020? Jesper, let's just stand back away from the line a bit so the boats can come down. Yeah, just stay here. Just here. So the boats can go ahead of us, and then we'll follow the boats as we cross the line. We'll continue. So.
Yeah, Henrik Boye is working for Dragonfly, so he's probably here to make some promotion for the company and all the boats from Jens Kvarning. And it's about 5 minutes to the start now. Do you have the exact time?
Yeah, 2 minutes to start. 2 minutes to start.
Yeah.
That's fine, so you can see. Yeah. And we've got a couple of boats standing well off the line there. A large Farrier, which is well behind the line, which is quite surprising that they're not being a bit more aggressive towards the start. I mean, there's very few boats. We mustn't forget that these boats are much wider. These boats are as wide as three normal hulled boats, so they need a lot more space to maneuver. Yeah. I don't know if you remember last year, but actually a boat that ploughed either side of the of one of the Cardinal boys here, the Marks.
Oh yeah.
And hit between his two hulls, and had to leave the race straight away before it even started.
And it was even raining this.
Yeah, that's right. It was drizzling and pretty grotty weather. And Fleming's filming some of the multi-hulls further up. The two boats that Fleming's filming now are the last two multi-hulls in the race. When I said the last two, they're the boats that are furthest to windward, and I've probably still got about another 3 or 4 minutes down to the starting line.
And there we can see Dragster from Aarhus.
That's right. Is that Dragster?
The old one. Yeah.
Okay.
With a new carbon mast.
Yeah, that's right. He's been totally refit, hasn't it?
Yeah. He capsized in Palbefyn Cup years ago. I don't know.
And that's been refitted since then. I see. So it'd be interesting to see how he performs with the new mast and new rig. I'm surprised to see these multi-hulls aren't being more aggressive. Fleming, perhaps you'd like to film down the line here, and we'll move out of the way for you. So yes, you film the start, because the start's Mini going in. Yeah. And yes, but you can move down. I just don't want to bother these boats here that haven't started yet. I need to start them. Yeah, go down to the starting line. Yeah.
Yeah, we have to see if there's somebody over the line.
Yeah, we'll go right down then. Just keep going. Okay.
And you have the time, Philip?
About 1 minute to go.
Yeah.
1 minute to go. I don't have the exact starting time. I haven't heard the 1 minute signal. It's very difficult to hear from here with the engine running, unfortunately.
Yeah, we need some guns.
Fleming? I want to try and film the boats here as they come in for the final run to the start. You've got the Dragonfly 28 Sport there, the brown one ahead of us on the left here, and then you've got the Black Marlin there with the silver.
Yeah, I think the Black Marlin will
yeah, he's going to gun the start. He's got.
Jan will take the start from Black Marlin.
Oh, okay.
1 minute. It must be.
It's got to be the 1 minute signal because they're not going towards the line, so it'll be the 1 minute for the before the start. And you can see the Dragonfly 28 Sport, which is just jibing there now. Yeah. It's coming onto the starboard, so he's onto a starboard tack now, which means the Black Marlin will have to give way to him if there is a risk of collision. Looks like there's less than a minute to go. They're starting to all come down, come onto a starboard tack, come out towards the line.
Going the wrong way.
Yeah, I'm surprised why he's going this way. Maybe he's a bit concerned about getting too close to the other boats. Don't forget, Trolls, not all the boats here are racers, you know. A lot of the people have bought a fast boat. Yeah, I know it is, but don't forget, the Silverrudder is for everybody. Yeah. And racing boats, long racing boats.
Yeah. But now we got the start, and the Black Marlin will take the start.
2, pass 1, and that's the start going now. That was the start of the final start. The multi-hulls.
We can get close to the.
Let's just go full speed.
Because if we don't see it now, we'll probably not see it more.
We probably won't see them again.
Because it will. Yeah.
So we're going to try and speed up a bit and go a bit closer towards the
yeah, let's
we'll
have close pictures of
and you can see the large trimaran over there just unfurling its great big Code Zero.
But
that's a very heavy boat.
It seems that it was Henrik Boy in the Dragonfly 28 who won the start.
I'm not sure it's Henrik, but yeah, in that 28-foot Dragonfly racer, definitely got the best start, and he's furthest to windward, which means he can bear away a little bit. Yeah. Don't forget, these boats are not really going high to the wind. But look at the speed of Black Marlin as he accelerates there. Yeah. That's incredible, the speed that he can pick up. And that is by far the fastest boat here. And in these conditions, he's going to be screeching ahead of the smaller boats.
Yeah. But we still have a lot of spectators here.
Yeah, it's nice to see, isn't it? Isn't it nice to see that you've got, I don't know, a bunch of 40 or 50 spectators standing on the bridge here? And you've got Marianne Scheufen standing up there below the hotel, doing speaking for us and presenting the starts. And she's really well prepared, and it's nice to see that there are people there to listen to her presentation. Yeah. Okay, this is great. Look at this. This is like a dragster. This is like a dragster race, because even though there isn't much wind, these boats are still doing a good speed. Oh, we're doing 9 knots in the motorboat, in the media boat here. And just think, I mean, there's literally about 4 or 5 knots of wind, and these boats are doing 9 knots. That's incredible.
And we still got the current going east.
We've still got the current going with us.
Stopping at
around midday, and I said I was unsure. That was the plan.
But the sailors are lucky.
So it's just
soon he will be in front the Black Marlin.
Probably. Yeah. I'm interested to see whether or not he's going to have to tack. Because look, they're beating him pretty high against the wind. Yeah. Actually, look at his Windex. Actually, he has got more room to come up to windward. Yeah. Looks he's slacking a little bit on his outhaul. He wants a little bit power and depth in the bottom of the sail there. Yeah. We're going to get as close as we can to Black Marlin. Get nice and close. Get some really close shots, and also of the boats up the fleet there. And then as long as we're behind them, we're not going to disturb their wind.
Yeah, look at that boat. I go to the side here so Fleming can film it. And it's a boat from Funen, from Ballen. And the boat builder Jan, who is steering the boat. The carbon fiber boat. I've saved the boat. It's a very, very nice boat. And he even sold one more. I think he had built two now, one for himself and one to Sweden.
Yeah, that's right.
To
He
a
sold it to a Swedish
guy.
customer.
Yeah.
Who apparently I heard that he broke the mast this summer.
No.
Yeah, I believe so.
Wow.
These are pretty powerful machines to race. You don't just go down and sit down in a boat of this size.
Yeah.
Do you want to get a bit closer, Troels?
Yeah, we want him closer because it's no problem because we are in behind, so we can be 1 meter from him.
Yeah, and looking at his Windex, he's not going to be tacking for the time being. It looks like he's going quite a bit faster.
And
than
now I think he will, in 20 seconds, he will be in front of his.
Yeah, it won't take him long before he will lead
pass.
the rest of the boats.
He will pass Henrik Boye in the Dragonfly 28.
That's right, and the Fairey 32. Yeah. And the Fairey is a fast boat as well. Don't underestimate it. You want to get a bit closer?
Yeah, it's not a problem.
No. And doesn't look like he's going to be tacking because he's going quite high to the wind.
Yeah.
I don't think that he can see you.
He
okay,
saw it.
there we go. There we go. Do you want to go this side of him?
Yeah, but enjoy the pictures here of the multi-hulls here in Silverrudder.
We're going to go come to the
and
lee
now
side.
Jan is in front. He's smiling. He's not breaking the record this year.
No, but he's going to have a great time, that's for sure.
But he will be the first, probably the first boat in the.
I would bet you a good meal that unless he has an accident, he's going to be the first boat in the in Svebø Harbour. But I've promised to come down and say hi to him when he arrives. So hopefully he'll wait till 6 or 7 tomorrow morning. And don't forget, this must be a fantastic sensation to build, design a boat, build it, every single piece of carbon fiber, and then go out and race it and win races like this. Great, well done, done, Jan. Look at this setup. He's got a really, really big fat boy on the top of his mast.
He's even built his own mast, or
everything, the whole lot. Mast, foils, everything.
Yeah, he's a carbon specialist.
He's an outstanding epoxy and carbon craftsman.
Yeah, before he had a wooden boat.
A wooden boat, which is also laminated, covered in clear epoxy. Look at the way he's accelerating now compared to the other ones.
Yeah.
The other trimarans, the Dragonfly 28 there, the Performance is a fast boat, but Jan has just got a huge amount of surplus speed compared to the others.
But now the Dragonfly 28 is accelerating.
He's got his code zero set very, very hard. Look at his compared to Jan's. Jan's got a lot more power, a lot more depth in the bottom, the middle of the sail. He's got an in-haul sail trim, and if you come a bit further forward, Okay. Bye. So what we were just saying that Jan has got a lot more power in his sails. He's slacked his outhaul. Like normal conventional boats would use a Jenica because they literally create their own wind because the relative speed of these boats is absolutely amazing. Well, we're losing a bit of speed now. We're probably doing about 7 or 8 knots behind. Rudder Ironmen out on the sea.
But now we see the Dragonfly 28 is coming back.
Yeah, you're right, Troels. He's got a little gust of wind there,
Yeah.
nice to windward. And the nice thing about being in his position is that he can bear away and accelerate in a few seconds. Whereas look, Jan's just slacking off his jib, slacking off his mainsail. But they're going very high to the wind, considering the fact that these are multi-hull boats. But note,
but enjoy the boat here. We'll pass the Black Marlin now with Hilda. Nice boat, but not a cheap boat.
I'm not sure what it costs, but I mean, it's a fantastic boat.
Carbon is expensive.
You know what, Charles? That boat is actually very comfortable down below. It does have decent bunks and nice wooden interior. It's not just an empty carbon bucket like a lot of the boats. It's really nicely crafted as well.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go. Look at the.
Now the wind was.
Well, yeah. If you look at the Sport there, the 28 Performance 28 Sport has slacked off his code and has started to get a bit more power in the bottom of his sail.
Yeah.
And look at the Windex on the top of Black Marlin
it
sail.
comes more from behind.
That's right. Yeah, they're going to have to be thinking about putting out bigger head sails. That's probably what Jan is doing.
We can see the Dragonfly 28 is passing him now.
He is, but look, that's what he's getting ready to do. Look,
yeah.
Looks like he's getting ready to put a sheet on his Code Zero.
Oh yeah.
You see that he's running around on the trampolines.
But you know, Jan, he was too late to release his sails.
Well, you're right. He did
compared to Henrik Boye.
Sure.
But Henrik Boye is a very experienced sailor.
Yeah, well, like I keep saying, I'm not sure if it is Henrik Boye. It's that boat, but I'm not sure if it's him at the helm.
Ah, okay.
But it's exactly the same boat. It's
but it looks like Henrik.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah. He's a little tough guy. Our sons went to after school together.
Okay.
And sailed together. But he's a tough guy. He's about my size, little, small guy, but he's really tough. He can.
You're not small.
I'm just little and tough. But he's a good sailor. But so is Jan. Don't underestimate Jan. No. And the race is far from over. We're just in the Sound. We've only been racing. The first boats have been racing 5 hours, and these boats have only been racing 20 minutes. There's a long way to go. But the wind is from the stern now. The wind is, from abaft of the beam, which means that you're going to see some bigger sails being set in a minute. Look at Boye, or the Performance, the 28 Sport there. He's slacking off his code, getting a bit more power in the sail.
And now there's coming a boat from behind of Henrik.
Yeah, that's right.
The Dragonfly 28.
That's the big. I think it's the big Dragonfly 35. The big.
Yeah. Let's wait for the sailors here.
Yeah, there's no reason for us to go faster than them. I was going to say, I wonder why that boat has given up, but he hasn't. He just wasn't racing because there are 2 people on board. This one here, then.
Yeah, they're perhaps struggling with the lack of current now.
Yeah, there isn't quite as much current. There isn't quite as much current, but the current is still going out.
So it will go west now?
Well, no. Well, for the time, it'll continue. Well, when it does turn, it'll go the other direction. It'll go west.
Yeah, but. You cannot say when.
Under normal circumstances, there's about 6 hours and 10 minutes between the change of currents from high tide, and then the tide is high, and then it turns and the tide goes low. 6 hours and 10 minutes, and then it goes up. About 6 hours and 10 minutes between each tidal change. Yeah. Don't forget, we're close to the autumn equilibrium, which also affects the tide, and we've had this huge amount of water, which has been flushed into the inner Danish waters, and that's why we had such extreme high tide in.
You have 1 meter over normal.
Yeah, about a meter over. I mean, I had to wear these leather sailing boots to be able to go out and visit the boats yesterday when I was doing our streaming and interviews, which was fun. It added an element of fun, and also kept us corona-free because all the spectators that normally come down to see the boats, they couldn't visit us.
But you had a lot of rules this year about Corona.
We had to. But people were really, really kind and really good at adhering to our rules, and we didn't see one single situation where we were concerned. Not one situation where we thought, well, there are too many people standing there with no masks on and so on. It was great. I think we'll get the.
And Black Marley is in front again?
Yeah, he's in the lead again, and he's got a little bit of wind. I've just asked the boat skipper to come a little bit to the starboard side so he can let the trimarans pass. I can see this speedboat's really in the way. He's underestimated the speed of a Dragonfly 28 Performance. That's a fast boat. Yeah, I've asked the skipper to come this way, and then we can come down. Okay. Okay, we're just going to come round again.
But look at Black Marley now, it's sailing.
He's just accelerating, they're like slacking off his jib a little bit. The great thing about these trimarans, these multihulls, is that from going like 4 or 5 or 6 knots, which is a good speed for a normal boat, the slightest breeze and they just accelerate to 15 knots. And even though there's nearly no wind, this boat's doing like 9 or 10 knots.
And Jan is knowing the area here.
Oh, he knows there very well. Don't forget, this is the very spot where that big blue Hansa went aground an hour ago, half an hour ago. And Jan is just cruising straight over because he doesn't have the same draft restrictions. He can just cruise right over very low water. I'm guessing that his draft is about a meter or something like that, meter 20 maybe. And don't forget, this is home waters for Jan. He races here every Monday evening against us, so he knows exactly where he can fit and where he can't fit. Let's hope that the other boats have seen this buoy and don't ram into it.
Yeah.
Like one of them did last year.
That's a big problem.
Yeah, well, they're heavy though. They're big, tough metal buoys. I mean, don't underestimate the stamina that's needed to race these boats. I don't know if you've seen, these guys. They're literally rushing around their boats, setting sails and pulling, and it's tough going.
Now is he putting up a
He's
code
getting ready to
zero?
put a code zero, yeah. He's got the wind a bit more from the stern.
Yeah.
And look, there's a Farrier 31 there who's actually accelerated and has actually overtaken the other boats. He almost hit the buoy there. Look. He's just managed to cruise around to the other side of the buoy. But once Jan gets his code zero up, it was stuck under his jib, he'll accelerate again. There you go. And look, it's all manual, no electric winches, no hydraulics on those boats. And even though the head sails on these trimarans aren't as big as they are on the monohulls, because they're so much lighter, they don't need the same weight to accelerate. Don't underestimate the power in those sails is incredible.
And we still have nice houses here.
Oh, gorgeous! Look at these places. Can you imagine living there, one of those flats? Or one of the,
I like the little yellow ones.
Yeah, Fleming, do you want to film across here, like? We're just going to move the camera picture over to the houses here. And the yellow.
Every time I pass these yellow houses, I think there I would like to stay.
I think that about 99% of the world that passes those houses wants to live there. I mean, that was the house on the waterfront there with the big chimney. It was a smokery. They used to smoke fish there.
Yeah.
So it's used for smoking herrings and mackerel and fish many years ago. Now it's a house, and the building behind it is several apartments.
Yeah.
Looks like Jan is having a struggle with unfurling his code zero.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, he's keeping his distance from the other boats. Oh, it's his furler that's giving him a bit of a hard time. He's come onto the deck to unfurl. There we go. He's going to go back down and start unfurling using his port sheet. There you go. And as soon as that's out, I'm guessing it is going to take in his jib, so he has some free wind for his code zero. But he's having a bit of a struggle there. And every time he has to run onto the deck like that, running to and fro, that's tough. And he only has a certain amount of physical and mental energy. And if he's going to be out there sailing like this, for 24 hours or so, it's tough going.
But now it's out.
He's out, it's out. It's got no wind in it, but
and then he will furl his jib.
Yeah, it definitely furl his jib. At the moment, it's disturbing the flow of wind into his code zero. But if you look at his Windex, if you film the top of his Windex, Fleming, great. Look at the wind is very much from the stern, which means he has to take in his mainsail for there to get some free wind to his Jenica. It's not a code zero, that's a Jenica, it's a bit deeper.
Okay.
Yeah, you see that?
Yeah.
So he's recognized the fact that he was going to bear away, and he needed a deep sail which could carry him with a low angle, which will definitely give him the benefit compared to all the other boats that are still carrying their very flat code zeros. This is by far the very slowest angle for a trimaran. They hate this. They hate going deep to the wind, because they can't. These boats need to go close to the wind to accelerate.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Troll? Should we just continue out, switch off the cameras
for
the time meeting, and go out and see if we can
try
catch some of the other boats?
Yes, we'll be back in 10 minutes or what?
Yeah. We'll just coordinate that with our cameraman. What do you think, Fleming? We're thinking that we might switch off the show now, cameras, and head towards the other few more minutes? Okay, a few more minutes. Our cameraman wants some more of these great pictures of the trimaran fleet. There are 11 of these trimarans here today, and remember, these are the bigger boats. These are the boats above 28 feet. And it's exciting, they're quite exhilarating to see that they're still close to each other. There's only one boat which is starting to lag behind.
And we are passing Tromsø, a nice little harbor.
Beautiful place, the most beautiful part of the country. Anybody that hasn't sailed here should definitely come to Svendborg and see the sights here. It's absolutely
Or
magnificent.
Langeland is also a good
Langeland's
place.
beautiful too. Troels is moving to Langeland one
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
And what you can see behind, well, you can't see behind, that's Troelsen we're looking at now. And in fact, there are several sailing clubs here, Troelsen, and there's Turø, which was have a very active J70 fleet. And the boats are on the water
And
racing.
good
5 days a
starboard
week.
sailors. They got
Yeah,
the
that's from
Danish
Troelsen.
champion
Yeah, with
Flemming
Flemming Sørensen, yeah.
and Nils' crew.
That's right, yeah, and Nils. And they're very, very good sailors. They just won the Starboat National Championships 2 weeks ago. Yeah. There's very little wind for these multi-hull boats to proceed with, but we're hoping that as they come out of the Svendborg Sound, that they'll experience there's a lot more wind, or a little bit more wind, for them to be able to proceed. I don't think we're going to have a Silverrudder where we break any records this year.
But now we can see the Black Marlins benefit from the generator.
Exactly.
His
wind is a beam. He's on a
he's
broad-
running away from the other guys now.
Definitely. And that's because he's got so much more volume and depth in his head sail. You
Yeah.
see that compared to the other boats?
I think the other guys, they need a sail like...
They need a Jenica like he's got.
Yeah.
He was very wise to set his take down his coat zero and set his Jenica.
Yeah, it's a good...
Don't forget, he knows these waters. He knows that when he goes about 2 miles further that way, he's going to bear away and go deep again, deep to the wind.
He's not looking at the navigator.
Nah, he's not too concerned, but he shouldn't go too much further in than there. There's not a lot of water there. There's a lovely chestnut tree, or there's an oak tree on the corner there, and that's always a warning
Wow.
sign. Don't go too close to that big tree there. If you go
Oh.
too close to that, you're going to go aground.
You know all the grounds here.
It's a good area. It's local. This is home grounds. Yeah, look at that. The other fast trimaran's completely parked, and the Dragonfly 20 race, which is a very fast boat, is just totally parked.
So
there
what
now.
about the spectators in Svendborg? Is there any TV screeners? Nothing this year? Or?
Yeah, well, no, you're right. There isn't. No, you're right. Normally
I
we
mean,
have
it's Corona.
No, you're absolutely right. Normally we have a huge, great big screen at the meeting point, but this year we've
So
literally.
it's a bad thing with the
we've
race
shut-
this
well,
year.
We had to shut down the whole meeting point.
Yeah.
As soon as people picked up their breakfast today,
Yeah.
people can go there and pass in protest. People can go in for administrative purposes, but there'll be no show there this year at all, which is a shame. But all the more reason for us to be out here live streaming and.
But it's a good
entertaining.
price to pay for the guys can sail.
Well, this is a sailing race. I know we had to cancel our Silverrudder Saturday. I don't know if you remember, but all the previous years we've had boat shows, we've had J70 races, we've had all kinds of funny events, jet skis, and people selling stuff on the pier. All that's been cancelled this year because we wanted to race. People wanted to race, so we'll have to make it good for you next year. Make sure that people get the entertainment and get all the other stuff.
We hope the vaccine will come.
Oh yeah, let's hope so, because it doesn't look like this Corona's going to go away immediately, does it?
No.
It looks like it might be a long-term thing. Yeah, we'll just pray and make sure that all the precautions we've taken have been sufficient to keep people safe and to keep each other safe. I mean, I can imagine it must be pretty frustrating to be a multi-hull owner and be behind Black Marlin right now, because he's sort of within the last 5 minutes he's just accelerated so that he's now 400 or 500 meters in front of the next boat. Okay, rounding off now, and we're going to try and see if we can motor up to the fleet.